Well, good morning, everyone. So, here's the thing. I've been pushing myself to get my garden done, and so I've not mowed the yard. And part of that is because I'm trying to get this is the broadleaf plantain. It's one of my favorite herbal plants. Oddly enough, it's also a plant that when me and Timmy and Teresa and Tammy and Kenny and Betty and Sissy used to play, we would cook up soup. And this was what we called cabbage. So we made a lot of cabbage soup. Ha ha ha. So it's funny that even as a small kid, this was my favorite plant. Granny had it on the left side of her house, and just the whole yard was covered with it. I should know what that means. That's probably the north side, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so when I first got here, chopped down 2 trees, the cherry trees. Some of you may remember the whole cherry tree drama. But anyway, these are my cherry trees, and this cherry tree had gotten so big. In a lot of the previous videos, you'll see it giant. I finally cut it down. It took me a while, but I got it sawed down. And finally, after all this time, we get to see that I have apparently acidic soil, because look at this. I have blue hydrangea. I gotta get ahead and get photos because this is gorgeous. Okay. Now, again, I want to let what's growing here, not these of course, stuff like this. I don't know what this is. If anybody knows what this is, please let me know. If I keep wanting to say it's burdock, but that's probably the last thing it is. Anyway, most of these things I want to grow. Again, these are fixing to go to seed. We don't want that. I need to get out here with my weed eater and get rid of the ones that I don't want to reseed. Yeah. Got to do it fast though, because they're doing it. These others, I'm trying to get to seed. I mean, it's free grass seed. Why not do it? And then the clovers, these nice, beautiful purple clover, nitrogen fixing clover. Makes the soil yummy, yummy, yummy. So I'm letting it reseed. And oddly enough, when I was growing up, grass was really tall, but these are low grasses. I mean, this is not very tall at all. If you look, not very tall at all. And then this is some kind of magnolia tree. And again, now that it's not being eaten every 5 minutes, it's looking pretty decent. Pretty. And what I'm going to do is just keep weed eating these cherry branches as they come up. Still trying to figure out what I want to do about the whole chicken thing. Haven't come to that. Oh, I just realized the blackberries are coming in. Somebody likes to sleep here. Not sure who. I can see them from inside the house. But look, the cats keep knocking my screen off. The question is, why does she keep doing that, huh? Why, Zoe? Why? Oh, yeah, showing how nasty the house is. There's that cat. Why? Oh, I got you too close. I wanted to get a close-up of her face. Oh, you're not gonna let me. Anyway, okay, so blackberries. come back out so we can actually see some blackberries. We got to remember to check on the raspberries today. So like I said, been doing a lot of planting. It was a year ago today, this evening, that Georgie left, which means stuff has taken a while to grow back, but it's grown. I also decided to start cutting on, this was a big privet tree, and I went ahead and bought an axe so I can start chopping on this thing and see if I can get rid of it. But this is an azalea, a really pretty white azalea. And then of course, this is a beautiful maple tree. And I thought, maybe, because I'm going to move the chicken coop. It's up here by the well so that it could have water all the time. But it's so far away in the wintertime, I'm too cold to want to walk this far. I know, whine. But I think, whatever. I think even though it's close to the road, this would be a fun place to have a picnic table or something. I'm just saying, maple tree, azalea, it's a beautiful area. Got to do something else with it. Oh, here you are. This is my rhubarb. I need to do this frequently enough to where it just rolls off the tongue. So I thought I killed all my rhubarb, but apparently I have 2 in containers on the other side of the house. So I bought this one from the garden center, and at first she didn't do too well. Funny, I had her on this side and she almost died. Put her over here and she's doing great. Not sure what the difference is, but do you know what the difference is, Zoe? No? So then you come up here, and this is the little red house. Eventually I would like to have my art studio set up in here so that this is where I come, and if I do pottery or ceramics or whatever, this is where I would do it. Here, and I haven't stapled things down yet because I'm still kind of figuring out what I'm going to do. This is a snowball bush I planted. A snowball bush, and for those of you who know, I use it cramp bark like crazy. A lot of times when I'm hurting, I'll just put some cramp bark in my mouth and chew it. And before I can get it, because you just sit and chew it like you would chewing gum or whatever, it is what it is. You just chew it gently, not aggressively, just sit there and chew it. And by the time it is all gone, my pain is over. And that's, of course, faster than 15 or 30 minutes that it would take for Tylenol or Motrin. And cramp bark, i.e. a real snowball bush. It can't be the hydrangea. There's hydrangea snowball bushes. It has to be the real one. And it works better for me than Tylenol or Motrin. Cramp bark, what I was starting to say, was it relaxes the muscles. So if you're cramping, anything that causes a cramp, this stuff. So sore muscles, if it's cramped up, cramp bark. Yum! And with fibromyalgia, it has been a lifesaver. Again, it happens so much faster than anything else that, it's a bark. You're just sitting here eating something. You're not. Now, this is a wonderful area up here. And I'm seriously thinking maybe I should have my little peaches up here. Put all my peaches, and then I'm looking, and look, right back here would be the perfect place maybe to have my raspberries. Move them up here because I could stake them up against the fence. Well, maybe not. But anyway, I'm trying to figure out, because this by, in another hour or two, is going to be full sun most of the day. And it gets nice and hot up here. It's about all grown back. There's no trees, so there shouldn't be any roots underground for when I'm digging holes. And that's what I'm thinking about doing, is putting, like I said, my raspberries up here, and then planting, I don't know. Because the thing is that, yeah. If I put the stone fruit trees up here, the peaches, apricots, things like that, if I get them, plums, whatever, put them up here, and then have the apples and pears and things like that down there, maybe. I don't know. The only thing is the peaches make such a beautiful pink flowers when they drop. And I have a real, maybe it's a past life thing, maybe from Japan or Korea, but I have a real thing for petals, pink petals falling. It's a big deal to me. And so, I don't know if y'all seen this. It's coming in handy. Using it to start plants. It's really nice. I'm slowly getting to figure out how I can use it. I mean, that's a big thing, is you have to learn how to use something. Okay, again. Now see, this is what I use. That's what I expect grass to be like. Knee-high, baby. So, we want you to make seeds. Because then, when I cut you, there'll be lots of green stuff to go for mulch. It's not talking back. We had a lot of this growing in our yard growing up. I don't know the names of my grasses. I do know. Now, I showed you the broadleaf plantain that I made cabbage with as a kid. This is the narrow leaf plantain. And I don't think it tastes as good. Now, interestingly enough, green leafy vegetables, spinach, etc., spinach in particular, always gives me blood clots. But plantain doesn't. I finally got my stick collection to here. I need to gather up all the other sticks I've cut down, get it out here. I finally chopped this bush off. It was a gumball, just gumball stuff growing. And went ahead and cut it down. And again, I got to get out here with an axe and chop out the stumps. Or maybe I'll put a planter around it, fill it with dirt, and forget it exists and forget the stump. Just saying. This is a nice, cool area to relax at. My yard just keeps getting darker and darker. My cousin / biological aunt Jenny was over here the other day, and she was like, "Your yard is just closed in. How have those trees gotten so close?" And they just have. She blames Georgie, but Georgie didn't have anything to do with the tops of these trees. She was so short. But look at that. I mean, that is a serious dark woods. Yes. I'm gonna come out here. I want to go ahead and cut down all these underbrush. As you know, with fires and stuff, that's what burns. So I want to get all that out, clean that up. And then there's, well, that's still a mess. But again, lots of stuff I need to do. And the it's good that I am ADD enough to where I actually rotate around to get things done. I have got to know what this is. I'm going to have a lot of it because I didn't cut it. Now look at my grapevine. I need to come out here again. What I've been doing is moving this and moving the vine around. Then as it goes up, attaching it higher the next time. So see, I'll attach it here. I'm gonna train it up, this thing. Give it a good brace. So that's, I gotta come out here and do that next. And then let's check on the new grapevine. Oh, looky how beautiful are you. Look at you, gorgeous. Yes. We'll just let that keep shading it for now. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull out these trees that haven't done anything, because they can be a hole for a tree that will. My little peach tree has gotten this tall. So whatever you are, yay. Let's see what we got down here. Well, something has moved that. Again, this is a peach. See, the peaches are not doing so well down here. Mainly because Georgie ate them. Let's be real. See if we can find the eastern redbud. I'm going to have to come down here and cut back some of the privet and get rid of these blackberry. I would just like to clear this out. See, I could take this back another good ways. That might be a hickory. I'm just saying, there's a lot of privet in here. I don't want to get rid of my honeysuckle, but I would like to go ahead and clean out the privet. We're going to do that. And then here, my little eastern redbud is coming in good. So far. And then these are my pear trees. I did a really bad job picking out where to put them. I was over at someone's house the other day, and they had theirs every 10 foot apart instead of 15, and in perfect little rows. And at first I was like, I don't want it to look perfect. I just want it to be fun. And now I'm going, maybe I want perfect after all. So I got to think about that. I think what I'm going to do is come out here and measure 10 feet back from the fence. 15 feet from the fence, and do a row. A tree every 8 or 10 feet. And then if I do rows east to west, although they say north to south rows are better, because then that way, I don't know, I gotta look and see. But my thought is, if I do the row every 8 feet or every 10 feet of trees going this way, and then skip 15 feet over and then do the next row. So I'm hoping there's 15 feet here that I can start the row back here and put my apple trees here, and then the pear trees will be here, and then the peach trees can be there, which will allow me to have all the pretty pink stuff falling so that I can enjoy it. Anyway, down here I know is a lot cooler than up there, and I think part of it is the underbrush here. But look at how tall those trees are. They create shadow well beyond these, but these block airflow. So, this and that. Do you realize I will have been here 5 years? I think this year. It's getting up there. I was 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62. I'll be 62 this year. little pumpkin that Gary and Carter gave me and brought over is just not loving it here. And the other day, this branch fell off. Now they say you can keep deer off your property 2 different ways that I've heard that really, really works well. One is to have 2 fences. So between this fence and this fence, nobody's coming in my garden this way. However, the other, because they will come in, they haven't, and eat my trees, but is to put brush, have a brush barrier because they can't judge. So I'm gonna start hauling all the limbs I cut down and put against this fence line and create depth. So if the deer did want to, because this is the area that doesn't have trees blocking them knowing that they've got enough room to jump. This is the most jumpiest area. Now luckily my neighbors have a lot of stuff grown up that keeps them from saying, ooh, I'll stand over here, I can jump into Paula's. So if I do the same thing and create a brush line like this, then we should do good. Anywho, the next thing I want to do is clear out around this. This tree here is, I don't know. I know this is privet. That's some kind of tree. Alice will know what it is. I don't know what it is. Alice will know. Oh, I know what it is. That's a crepe myrtle. That's what that is. It's a crepe myrtle. And she's a beautiful pink one in the fall. So I got to get up here and we'll have to find out if this is raspberries or blackberries. And I think they're too far from my raspberries, so I think these are blackberries, so they all got to go. And then this stuff here is something. I need to know what it is because it's something good. And then again, I need to cut down all these branches. So my goal this year is to get this area back here cleaned up. This fence is going 10 feet that way. And so that'll leave this whole area back here I can do something with. Don't know what yet. The neighbors have a new dog and it barks whenever I'm outside. Oh. So, yeah, that's what I want to do is get this cleaned out. Get rid of all you briars. I'll just bring my weed out. I think that's poison oak. I think it is. I don't know poison oak very well. But it seems like that's the plant that Alice doesn't like. Anyway, I don't know. But boy, I think we got blackberries galore back here. This all needs to be trimmed out. A lot of dead stuff. A lot of dead stuff. Okay. So far, this has been more of a yard walk than a garden walk. Now here is some little privet trees I'm going to let grow because it's so close to the fence. That would be great. I do love privet, but I think it gets really leggy when it gets too tall. Okay. I ordered some more. Ooh, is there a berry? Look, look, look. This is my first berry this year. Oh, yeah. Not many. But, it's black raspberry time. It's black raspberry time. These are the best berries. And they don't have seeds that get in your teeth the way blackberries do. Oh, man. How do you shut up, Apala? Raspberries. Well, breakfast. Nothing like a free breakfast. Okay. Yum, 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 yum. Oh my goodness. It is just a purple flavor. It is unbeatable. I'm trying to find my other tarp. I have two 10-foot by 50 tarps that need to go here and here. Last year I put in a 5-footer and it's just allowed stuff to grow. So the next thing I need to do, among all the other next things I need to do, is to get this laid out and tacked down. And then this fence will go 10 feet over. So basically the garden's going to go 10 feet this way. Yeah. Do. There's the other one. This is the tarp that's going to replace this. And I'll just come out here. Once I get that tacked down, that one, then I'll start moving this stuff out onto that tarp. And if it's not something that's growing, I'll put it in the greenhouse, because I think what I want to do is put raised beds on these. Not like 3 foot tall, but you know, like a foot tall, for like carrots and cabbage and brassicas. You know, these things that don't go very deep, they only go like a foot deep, something like that. And that way, apparently brassicas, and there's so many plants that hate everything else. And I've just been very frustrated trying to figure out where I want to put my stuff this year, because so many things died last year because they were planted by stuff that they didn't like, and for whatever reason they died. So this year they got to go. I don't want to do it. And the big problem is that strawberries don't like to be with anything but asparagus. So I'm sitting here thinking, maybe I need to run my strawberries outside the fence on that side. We'll see. Now I am going to tear these fences down, put them right back, but I've got to get in there and be able to cut down the trees, and I can't do it without taking them down and then putting them back up. So what I did was I ordered some more brackets, and I'm thinking what I need to do, because the fence does this, and that's fine for chickens and fine for scaring off deer, but if something actually wanted to challenge it, it's not very useful. So I'm thinking about putting a rebar on the outside of every center post, and then where two come together, put a rebar on the inside. And so brace, out brace, in brace, out brace, in brace, like that, to kind of give it more support. The other thing I'm thinking about seriously is running another line inside. So basically the garden would be divided up into 20 feet and then 30 feet. So 10, 20, 30. Yeah, 30 feet here, 20 feet here. And it would then come through here and close off. If I do that, I can get bird netting to go up and over. And I think I could put it up myself and have a little section that birds can't get into for my strawberries and things like that the birds are getting in here and eating. Zoe, get out of my yarrow. Okay, so I'm keeping my back to the whole garden, but I've got white yarrow planted here. And this is that the feverfew? Let's see. Yeah, this is feverfew. Okay, You ready for the big reveal? Let's turn around and see what the garden looks like. Now, yesterday evening, I posted a video in which I came over to this corner and stood and showed you the garden. So, all of these cardboard that's been sitting out, I'm going to use it up under the things to block weeds out. It's nice and broke down, which means that all of the tape and things have decayed. So I'm real excited. So let's just start. In the video I did, I said, oh yeah, I want to do a 3-foot row of asparagus. Well, in between that time and now, I planted strawberries. So what we've got in the first row is nasturtium, asparagus, and strawberries. Oh, and I planted two pink yarrows. So we're gonna see what I think about all that. Now, whoa, today the sun is bright. I don't know if you can see the garden this way. So now that you see it, it was a lot neater in last year's video of June 6th. Excuse me. Something has caught the back of my throat. But that gives me till June 6th this year to get it back straightened out. Now, we'll look at this way. So this is a 3-foot. We'll just go one thing at a time. This is a pathway. Now, starting off, what I want to do with each pathway is take the good dirt that's underneath it and dig it out and put it on the row above it. And so I see that I think I have beans or something coming in here. I've got to get in here and get rid of it. And yeah, here's my little hoe. Those of you who've never had a stirrup hoe, this is why you need / want a stirrup hoe. So let me get the asparagus plopped out of the way. Go back there. Okay, not very good at listening. Anyway, so I'm just going to do this real quick. But look, that's all you do. Now, if you get out here and every time you see them coming up, see, look, there's hundreds of little weeds. If you wait till you can pull them, it's going to take forever. But if I do this, they're gone. You see that? Too fast, too easy, too dead. Let me just get rid of all these, because to me, they look like a pea or a green. And I planted beans here last year, and they hate the other stuff around them hates it. So don't want it to come back in. Let me get those killed real quick. There. Anyway, you see why I love this. And then it just breaks down. Did I get that one? Oh, I didn't get that one. Okay, so there you go. And then it took me no time at all. It's all dead. It'll all be black or brown tomorrow. And I do need to come out and actually weed, but I just got my fingernails remotely clean today. I'm not going to pull weeds. Okay, I just told a lie. I don't want a lie bump because I'm going to pull these out. Again, I don't know what these are. Oh, apparently, I'll not be pulling them out by the roots either. Well, we'll just break your butt off, because if you don't have enough, if you can't get enough energy in there, well, ooh, they're gooey. Okay, leaving those alone. But the strawberries are looking yum. These two are either Mara Del Bois or Charlotte's or something. This is from the very first year I planted. This is from last year. They're Chandlers. So I didn't even know these were still here. And then later in the year, they showed up. Now these are beginning to bloom. So today, one of my goals was to get my coverage up so that I can get at least a handful of strawberries. I bought the little net hoops, to keep the bunnies and the birds out. So, got to get those up. And then June 1st, I'll come out here and cut down the berries and lay them out. So there's that. This fall, I'm getting rid of the horseradish. It's going into a pot where I can control it. And look at my potatoes. Now, little history lesson on these potatoes. These potatoes I planted the very first year I was here. No, I did not, because the very first year I was here, I started the garden and got the compost. And it was so hot I couldn't do anything. So the second year I was here, I planted brassicas in this row, the horseradish and the chives. And then in this row, I had a row of Yukon Gold and German butterballs. Now, it looks to me like maybe each of these is a different potato. But these come back. I've never replanted them. They came back in the same spot. And at this point, I'm raising these puppies because the rest of them just turned to mush. My potatoes all turned to mush. So these, I want to get them. I also know now that they were planted by stuff that murdered them. So these, I'm just taking all of the potatoes, going to let them cure, and then I'm going to replant them, because these are going to be my potatoes that I want to keep and grow, because they love this place. They'll just have to go a row over, or once I get the strawberries out, we'll be fine. We'll figure that out. Again, all of this stuff is going to go up around the asparagus and strawberries when I weed again, to keep it nice and wet. It was funny because yesterday I was standing here. Duncan has decided to come out. I was standing here with my hoe, the stirrup hoe, and where I was leaning on it, a little puddle of water come up. So let's make sure this has the roots upward so it kills it. Now, what we've got here is a path, a row, a path. So these potatoes are actually growing in a pathway. And then this is a row. And then this is a path. And all this brown stuff is going to be used around my corn, around the strawberries and stuff, to help keep them nice and cool. Now yesterday, I planted a row of, and I need to come out here and water them. Also, I need to put some of this stuff on it. But these are black-eyed Susans. Actually, the black-eyed Susans are new, so I need to get them in here first. This is a pathway. So this will be part of the 4-foot garden. But right now, what I did was chop down all that big stuff. I have not pulled weeds underneath it. I just chopped it and laid it down, and as you can see, it's loose. Once it's had time to kind of die back a little bit, I'll go in there and pull the weeds up. But I got kitty cat hair. This is what we got. Right here is my one. No. Let's see. Up here. Oh yeah, here it is. My one single echinacea. Echinacea among the sunflower, the black-eyed Susans. So, last year, this was my corn. This was the corn row. And this row over here I'd forgotten, but this row had some kind of pumpkin that I bought. And I'm going to buy it again this year because that's going to be the pumpkin I grow. It at least makes my body think I've had candy roasters. It's not as yummy as candy roaster, but hey, I can make it work. These are my 2 cayenne peppers. This is a, don't remember what kind. Obviously it's a tomato. And then my strawberries have gone kind of kablooky. I have another tomato back there and another tomato over there. Before they start making seeds, they got to be separated. This is my orange. Was it orange or yellow? I have to look back. I think they're... Anyway, obviously they're irises. And then these are supposed to be walking onions. Again, they're alive because I think they are walking onions. Now, this line here runs along with the tarp. Sort of. And I'll pull this back. I gotta get rid of this crap. I can't believe I let that be put here. That was stupid on my part because now I have to move every bit of this myself somewhere else before I can open this up. And I need to get all this opened up. I have started taking apart the things back here. So see, once I open up the back behind the fence, all this will be open. And so one of the next things I got to do is get these moved up to the road so they can be taken off, and get these cut up and moved back to the fence so we can start a brush pile for weeds to grow into that will prevent deer from coming in. So chop down a bunch of trees here inside the garden, and of course the the fence will come forward to here, and come right down through here. This marker shows where the compost went to, so back here is all red clay anyway. Now, oh, so many trees. Look, there's a tree here. Oh, tree stops. Again, I'll have to get out here and handsaw that. Yeah. So I never did try the boysenberries. They've got to be ripe. No, they're not. Look at this. We have black raspberries out there ready to go, but the boysenberries are not. Oh, look at you. So this year, got to figure out how to tell the difference between the boysenberries and the blackberries. It looks to me that the boysenberry leaves are smaller and darker, maybe. Anyway, I think what I'm going to do, cut them back and transplant berries. Oh, sorry for the blur. Transfer them back up the hill. I think down the hill I'll have elderberries and medicinal type berries, like my beautyberry and stuff. And then the upper will be my yum berries for yay eating. Okay, this is what we've got. I also planted, I think it was a lavender down here, and I may dig it up and move it back up this way. But I planted a lavender amongst all this somewhere. But my goal is to get the rest of this cleaned up, because technically it won't take me very long to pull this up when I start cutting this out. But I'm just going to cut it back one row at a time, weed it, clean it, and go. And like I said, get all this tarp pulled up, rolled up, and relayed out so that it's neater, more organized. Another tomato plant down there in the corner, another tomato plant. To keep tomato plants from cross-pollinating, they need to be 10 feet apart. And since every one of these is 10 feet, I can put one at each joint and know that they're 10 feet apart. I do not know what it is about mortgage lifter tomatoes, but I'm gonna tell you right now, the animals love them. Every time I plant one, it's gotta be eaten. So I want to plant some more mortgage lifters this year, but before I do, I'm gonna have to build a cage and a net and make sure nothing can get to them. Because something over here knows what they are and loves them. So, once again, oh, there's water standing. Let's just dump you out. Oh, because it's almost time for mosquitoes. It's another good reason for being able to put everything in the greenhouse is no mosquitoes. So this is the garden. Still a lot of stuff I sort as I walk by it, and then I carry it in. But I did check my corn, and it's just about, it could be transferred now, but I'd like the roots to get just a little bit more. So I'm thinking Monday. Monday I'll put the corn in the ground. And it's gonna go, this is where the corn was last year. And this is where the corn is going this year. Right here. And it's weeded underneath, so it's ready to just do it. My thing is going to be, I think last year I put 4 ears of corn in each square. This year I think I'm going to do 3. Because I think I want a little more sun. And so what I'll do is like a triangle. So 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1. So this will be a little less dense in between each. So be 3, 6, 12 in each 1 foot row. So I have like 160 ears of corn. And it's the Brill. Don't know whether I'm gonna love it or not. But I'll start down here where it gets the most sun and work that way. And then I'm seriously thinking about just running beans on either side of the corn in the pathways. I know it's in the pathway, but like I said, I'm gonna be digging the dirt up anyway. So when I dig it up, the bean plant can go on something and help nutrition it. I think that's the way to go. And I think the squirrels ate all my peanuts. There is a problem with leaving stuff in the greenhouse. Some of the animals know to go in there and eat. So again, I haven't got this worked out. I don't know if I'll do peanuts this year or not. Depends on if I get some. I'm not too sad because those peanuts were 145 days and it was gonna be really late when they finally got back. I want to raise a smaller one, 110, so that their amount is more like the corn. The corn, this particular corn, the Brill corn, is 75 days. Now, it would be from the time it first come up. But with doing transplants, that kind of changes things. So I'm going to count it as 15 days old and still needing 60 days, something like that, when I plant it. And we'll have an estimate, see when it comes up. So this is what I've got. Last year, the garden looked lovely, but it was all grass. And grass is not easy to weed. Grass is the hardest thing to weed. So I have very little grass this year. I prefer weeds to grass in a garden. Oh, look, 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 look. Look, it is the walking. It is the walking. Don't know if you can see it. Let's see, right there. This is the walking onions. Oh, we'll have to put you in the ground. I don't know what good they are. What do you do with a walking onion? They don't like grow a bulb. Is it just green onions? Cricket wanted me to get some, so I did. But I asked her what she liked to do with them, and she said she didn't know. She never had them. She thought they'd be neat. So yeah, these are little onions, walkie onions. Okay, now we know. Well, folks, it's been a while, and I'm actually wearing a coat today because, I don't know if you can see this, it was cold this morning, and I was cold. But here we go. I know, you're looking at it going, I can never live in a garden that nasty. But guess what? I'm doing this. No plow, me, by myself, and I'm proud of my garden. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So have I showed you everything? Yeah, I think I have. I'm pretty spent. I am growing wood sorrel. Why? Because wood sorrel rules, man. And there's some plants I got that I need to get in the ground. Got to figure out where it's going. Anyway, y'all, thank you for joining me. And have a great week.